Philippians 3:16. I said it is as important as John 3:16.
However, let us keep living by the same standard to which we have attained.
മലയാളത്തിലോ? അനുസരിച്ച് നടക്കുക. Do you know where the Lord dealt with this problem in detail in one chapter? The 8 woes, Mathew 23. Can you find out the 8 woes from 13 onwards, 23:13 onwards? Only the headings. How do you summarize each woe as a clear point? What's the first one? Shut doors means what? What is the issue there? What is the problem? What is the English idiom from this?
Stumbling block.
Dog in the manger. It won't eat the grass, it won't allow the cow to eat it also. Now, what is it today? In personal life, how will you translate that? Equivalent of it, modern life today for me. You shut out the kingdom of heaven from people. You do not enter yourself, nor you allow others who are entering to go in. How? Okay. We go on advising but never practice. Preaching but not practicing. That's another word. So, what happens? I remain a stumbling block for people. Father was punishing a son for stealing 10 rupees from his pocket. A few beatings. While beating was going on, he said, "Daddy, stop for a while. Not paying income tax, is it stealing?" He stopped beating. He stopped beating. He knows. One of the youth league meeting, it was happening in, I think, one center, not Adur, another place. I was also a speaker there. At one point, all the bishops were sitting on the stage. One person got up and asked, "I'm going to ask a question for all of you. How many of you bishops pay income tax? Do you have an account for all the kaimuttu you receive?" Big silence. Slowly one after another got up and went. Only Mathew was there. He said, "All my account can be scrutinized by anyone." This is what is happening at higher level. Who is going to pay now? When a mission hospital in Rani was inaugurated, one bishop came and preached inauguration. If any hospital is making profit, it's not a hospital, it's a factory. At that time, all the mission hospitals were minting money. What about in my life? In my way of living, is it a hindrance to others? I will shout at an employee, co-worker, for not coming in time for the office. But I always go late there. And say I have, some other excuse. നല്ലപോലെ പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കണം പിള്ളേരുടെ അടുത്ത്. നല്ലപോലെ വേദവസ്തം പഠിക്കണം. Study well Bible and also pray well. The child never turned and asked how to do that. Because father doesn't know. He doesn't pray. He doesn't study. This is the block. Okay, one. What is the second one? What is the second one? Others? അങ്ങോട്ടേക്കോട്ട് നോക്കണ്ട, നിങ്ങൾ എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, അങ്ങ് പറഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. What's the second? Long prayers. Devour widow's house. What's that? You are going there to receive your contribution. For that you make a long prayer and bless them. Say some prophecy also and come back. എന്നിട്ട് സ്തോത്ര കാഴ്ചയും മേടിച്ചു. എന്നിട്ട് there is another thing. I see some block here. ആരാണ്ട് എന്താണ്ട് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, അത് മാറ്റണമെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പ്രാർത്ഥന ഇവിടെ നടത്തണം. പ്രാർത്ഥന ഇവിടെ നടത്തണം. How is it in my life, your life? Anything you can share? In some passages 14 will not be there. In some translations it's not in the original. Don't struggle for it. Okay. Yes, it will be written in the footnote. Modern life, how do you see? Prayer meeting നടത്തുമ്പോൾ, when you conduct prayer meeting, what is the main emphasis? The food. Elaborate food arrangement. And they had to appreciate it. This becomes a burden for people, and after some time nobody wants to conduct prayer meetings in their houses. Any other issue? Similar? You bargain with whom? The poor vendor who comes in front of you. Supermarket, you pay the bill even if it is 4 times. Oru palam kuda potittu po. From that person you must give little more money. You bargain and get it, but finally give more money for that person. If that person is selling in the wrong way. Or many of them borrow money to take these things to bring. Why don't you lend money without interest for them? From a person, if they borrow in the morning 500 rupees, he has to pay 100 rupees there. Enter in and ask, you will find what is happening. Support that person. Yes. See, when we read Bible, we are taught it must read my life. If it doesn't read, it doesn't help. So this one sometimes this kind of Bible study, if you do, sharing, cleansing will happen. If you criticize only others, it won't happen. What's the third one? 15th verse, what is that? Yes. How do you do that? Create obligations. Here the 16th is what? 15. Dangerous conversions. Dangerous conversion. By some means you make converts and then make them worse than yourself also. There is no teaching, no equipping, nothing. You want only number to be in the church. Boasting of number. What is the equivalent in your personal life? Do parents bring up children for selfish reasons? നിന്നെയൊക്കെ വളർത്തിയിട്ട് എനിക്ക് എന്നാടാ കിട്ടി? നോക്കാം, ഹോമിൽ കൊണ്ടിട്ടേക്കാം. Is the expectations controlling many relationships? Obligations, he said. You give 500 rupees for a man, next day you want him to carry your suitcase. You come to the hospital, give a gift to the nurse or the person there, you must be seen first. Come and arrange everything. Mark in the 10th chapter 44.
Whosoever wants to be first among you must be the slave of everyone else.
45.
For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many.
Everywhere it's written, not to be served, but to serve. What is this desire to be served? You say good morning to someone. If the person doesn't say good morning, will you say good morning next day? No. No. Why do you say good morning? Hey, good morning. You're wishing him, why do you want to get it back? Christmas season, you may not send Christmas cards for some people. Why? They did not send me. Then, you entertain some missionaries. You are unhappy when they went. Why? Not thank you. Food was nice, he didn't say. You tell him, and next time onwards, I am not going to entertain these people. Serving is over. What else? What is the word you use in shuttle badminton when you pass the ball to the other side? Serve. Love all. Love all. When you are love and the other person is 6, is there any love inside? A father was playing shuttle badminton with his son, 6-year-old son. He defeated him and jumping around. Don't laugh. He is jumping. One of my friends, when he got for MD General Medicine, All India quota, the seat is almost 2 to 5 crores even now. His very close friend was in the waiting list, number 1. He prayed for some time, withdrew the seat so that he will get it. He applied for another 3 years, he didn't get. 3rd year only he got. Are you willing for that? No expectation?
Sometimes Gentiles are more humanitarian.
We'll come to that. 23. What's in daily life? Example in daily life. Straining the gnat and swallowing the camel. 24th verse-luണ്ട്. കൊതുകിനെ അരിച്ചെടുക്കും ഒട്ടകത്തിനെ വിഴുങ്ങുമെന്ന്. See, attending church, paying tithe, very punctual. But mercy and justice, no. Mercy and justice, no. The Lord talks about the Levite and the Pharisee who saw the man who was on the street. See, I had to go for the worship, I can't attend. Once, one of our wardates said, can I bring a patient who is lying at home? He is mentally some problem. He has not taken bath for 1 month or 2 months. Yes, bring him, we'll admit and treat. He brought him in this big talundi. Put him on that and brought him. He was fully covered with feces. Dried feces all over head, neck, everywhere. He was so kind to bring that man. Together both of us took a hose pipe, cleaned him, put him proper. He's a very, very well-built man. He became, after treatment, he became normal and went back home happily. I was thinking of that ward boy. Beyond his duty, he was compassionate to bring this man. One sister When I was going after the work, afternoon, I saw her feeding a patient with spoon. Both hands were bandaged for the patient, leprosy patient. I thought she was giving the hospital diet. Later I found that it is her own lunch that she is giving. Her lunch is more protein rich. So she was giving it. For almost 2 weeks, 2 weeks at least, he was in the hospital. She didn't have food in the afternoon. She's a full-time worker lead. Yet some people were angels. It was a very common thing in the campus in those days. Very common. Any work will be done by anyone. After surgery, surgeon and other junior doctors will stand and wash all the clothes. If more linens are there, we will wash and give it to you. Gynecologist will be pushing the trolley and bringing the patient for surgery. Most of at least 2 or 3 doctors were always available for running the vehicle because we had only one driver. Now, you cannot think of it in any way. Emphasis in the workplace from government level has gone on to paperwork. It's defensive medical practice, paperwork. Caring a patient has been forgotten. Caring a patient has been forgotten. In a church, I was reading about it, the number was dwindling, the pastor left. Only a few people. Nobody to lead the church. There was old postmaster. Whatever he knew, he started teaching. But the 30s soon became 300, 500. He started visiting every house and meeting people. They began to flock into the church. He was a loving, caring person. The church was growing also, not only number inside. They became a caring community. 25. I can think of medical practice modern days. They scrub well, and the scrub of the patient's purse also very well. Most of the mission hospitals, when it was started, it was very small. Soon it became, in any city you watch, that became the central place and the biggest place around. But the lifestyle of people around the village has become only poorer, gone down. Helping the farmers, government aid comes for the small farmers. Soon these farmers became rich and began to oppress other farmers. There is no change. Cleaning the cup, but what is in the cup is full of oppression, exploitation. How do we get the money that we receive as salary? Mission hospitals, abortion, unnecessary treatment, investigation. What about in educational institutions? How is the bill increased? How do they increase the bill? School fees, college fees, how do they increase? Uniform. Laughing funds, sitting funds, standing fund, every fund will be there. Special fees. Are we all involved in it? You have paid nice salary, but do you know where the salary is coming from? Do you want to take the part of the loot? Or will you say, I don't want that part? When they increase your salary, you are very happy, but do you know where the salary is coming from? Exploitation. Do you want to be part of that? We will not enter into this. Let the salary come to my account. How it comes, I don't want. In a hospital, the old people home, destitute home, is run by a man. Once, it's usually some people provide for expenses there. Hospital provides only a small amount. He doesn't take it. So one person brought once a suitcase full of currency. It must be a few lakhs. He said, this is for the home. But he knew that person, how he makes money. So he said, we don't take it, can take it. No, it's for the, take it and leave. He insisted. He took and left. Few days later, he came, I want to know about Jesus Christ. Will the church refuse some of these monies? When Jerusalem church was going through poverty, Simon brought some money. Peter said, let your money perish with you. Means they didn't accept it, even in poverty. Or he could have accepted and prayed. Bless him, Lord. I told you one example. In Madurai, one preacher who came was called to a house to pray for a wall that was cracking, that it may not crack and the house fall. A small house. He is a very rich man. So the preacher asked, how did you get the house? He said, that widow there pawned it. She could not redeem it. I took it. Do you know what he said? If you do not return this house tomorrow, it will fall on your head. He promptly returned it. That's the duty of a preacher. Whitewashed tombs inside. How do you translate that for daily life? When you highlight and speak of one aspect in your life, you may be hiding many other aspects of life, emphasizing on one side. Building monuments for those whom you killed. Your relationship with the person is very bad, but on the send-off meeting you speak very nicely about him. So someone said, when you join a company or firm, the first day message and the last day message don't believe. What they talk in between is important. Funeral service. That person himself will be staring inside that. What are you telling about me? I never was like that.